Yeah. I know what you're thinking. Another white lady up here talking about diversity and culture. But the truth is, because I'm a white lady, I know you're going to listen to me. How do I know? Think about vulnerability. Think about shame. Brene Brown isn't saying anything new. It's just that when white women speak, people listen. Now that I have your attention, I'm going to use my voice today to speak for those that don't get heard. Yes, I'm a white woman, but I'm also an educator. I'm a lifelong learner. I'm an advocate for social justice. I'm a daughter, and I'm a wife. I'm compassionate, I'm self-aware, and I'm comfortable with who I am. I didn't have to make good choices. I had good choices. Go back one, please. When people look at my passport, they don't think twice about whether I should be there or not. Security check, that's a breeze. I have the freedom to make mistakes without judgment being placed on my entire race. If I walk up during the wrong boarding zone time, usually I'm going to get let on the plane. Think about it. I know you've seen this too. Someone who doesn't look like me, please sit down and wait your turn. I have the freedom to be mediocre, but still, I'm coachable. I know that when I humble myself, I give power to someone else. I'm comfortable making mistakes because I know that's an opportunity for me to reflect and to grow, a key to lifelong learning. I am a person who knows that marginalized groups have been carrying the burden of their own injustice, coupled with having to explain that to people who look like me for far too long. But still, I know it's not me that's evil. White people aren't evil. It's not my race that is evil. It's our systems that are evil. And that is why I use my privilege to advocate for change. When I enter a boardroom, a conference, a classroom, I seek out diversity. If I don't see a diverse group of people in front of me, I feel disappointment because I know that I learn best, that we learn best when multiple perspectives are taken into account. I am a person who asks myself why I think the things I do, because I strive for cultural humility. What is cultural humility? Let's have a look. It's an ongoing process of self-exploration. It's a willingness to learn from others with honor. It's the acknowledgement of who we are as individuals. Cultural humility goes one step beyond cultural competence, or the idea that we can know every single thing about another person's culture. Cultural humility is a goal. Cultural competence is a goal. Cultural humility is a mindset. Cultural competence says, I can be the best, where cultural humility allows us to continuously strive to be better. Cultural competence lacks perspectives. It doesn't take into account our experiences, our values, and our beliefs. Cultural competence says, I lived in the Middle East for 6 years. I know everything about Islam. Cultural humility says, I lived in the Middle East and I still have a lot to learn. Cultural competence says, I have to know the facts. Where cultural humility says, I don't have to know all the answers. as members of diverse international communities, how do we move beyond this idea that we can know every single thing about another person's culture? Beyond the idea that I already do this, I'm self-aware, to a more humble state of being, a continuous process of curiosity. How do we move from knowing about systems that we're a part of, to holding those systems accountable? How do we use our understanding of our knowledge and culture to shift and disrupt these systems? First of all, we practice critical self-reflection. It's our responsibility to be aware and to analyze our biases and experiences, to practice critical self-reflection so that we don't unintentionally oppress. Ask ourselves, where does my privilege lie in this situation? What have I been exposed to? What haven't I been exposed to? What fears do I have? What fears don't I have? And in my case, understanding that that list is growing. We are all human and we make mistakes. This work never stops. We must position ourselves as lifelong learners, acknowledging and being curious about each other's differences, knowing that no one culture is superior to another, feeling comfortable with mistakes, being comfortable being uncomfortable, and embracing that discomfort as a gift, because we know that that's how we're going to learn and grow. And learning with 100% understanding that we will never reach 100% understanding. We must listen. We must listen to other people's stories when they tell them. Say things like, I'm familiar with that, but can you tell me more? As members of this diverse international community, we have an opportunity. We have an opportunity to choose compassion. We have an opportunity to make change. We have an opportunity to shift systems. And we have an opportunity to break through the concept of assimilation. This year, 3 young ladies studied the loss of language and culture in our primary year's program exhibition. Swaha Shelaram, Eileen Tong, and Mila Traveler discovered that languages and cultures around the world are dying quickly every day. It is our job to amplify those voices and to advocate for equity. Take a step back and realize you don't have to be the hero of every story. Listen to the stories. Compare them to your own experiences. Connect the dots so you can see the narrative that has been created for you. Be intentional in diversity. Surround yourself with diverse authors, diverse media. For your children, buy diverse toys and games. Most of all, we must continue to empower ourselves and our children to ask why. We are all human. We must do what is right, not what is easy. Thank you.